Are you back? Are you back listening to the Ethan Hahn Plus podcast? Are you listening on Spotify? Are you listening on Apple Podcasts? Are you watching on YouTube? Let me get an amen.
Amen.
If you're listening and watching on YouTube, put it in the comments down below. Hallelujah. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Welcome back to Ethan Hahn Plus. I'm your host, Ethan Hahn, the most fantastic, the most marvelous, the most handsome, most charismatic Asian here in Delaware, Newark, Delaware. Yes, I said it because I think I beat a lot of my friends. I think Glenn, I'm more handsome than you. Mm-hmm. Gilbert, more handsome than you.
Yep.
Cisco, way more handsome than you. And I smell better.
Yep.
And I smell better than him. 100%. And for those of you who don't know them, you don't need to know them. I'm the only Asian you need to know.
That's right.
Because I'm the main character of this organization. Look whose name is on the show. And I bring people on to make them stars.
That's right.
And everybody, today we have a special, fantastic, amazing guest star who's been wanting to get on for a while. And we've been trying to figure out the schedule here. And he's finally here in the show. We have, everybody, welcome Kaleb Vaughn. Woo! Kaleb Vaughn is here on the show. Welcome, Kaleb.
Welcome.
That's Kaleb with a K.
With a K. If you don't get the K right, then I'll be upset.
Exactly. So it's K.
Yep.
Love. Every kiss begins with K.
Yep. Not like that other Kaleb, Wasian Kaleb.
Wasian Kaleb. Yeah, we'll get a Kaleb Hutton on. I'm gonna confuse everybody. There's gonna be.
We should have me and Kaleb Hutton.
This is the
Kaleb podcast.
That actually would have been really good. A Kaleb podcast. We'll do that one day. As soon as I have him, so it'll be like there you go. It'll be like an Avengers thing. Yep. It'll be a single movie, then a crossover between you
I like
two.
That. I like
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little Kaleb cinematic universe.
Be ready.
Do people want that? Yeah, we'll see. But welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
It's been like a year in the making.
In the making.
We've been planning this for
in the making.
A year.
We met last year.
We met last year at the summer retreat.
Summer retreat. That's where we met. And he's part of the church crew.
That
I hang out with. That Gilbert introduced me to. We'll put some pictures up here. There's us getting holy. I don't know what pictures I'm going to put up yet, but there you go. And he was in some of the vlogs from retreat number 2. We were at Buongiorno. Buongiorno?
Was it Buongiorno?
Buongiorno Center?
Okay.
Yeah. I believe that's what
more
it's
than
called.
I do. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, Steel Trap is mine. Steel Trap. But he's here, and you had a middle name, Kaleb?
Steven.
Steven?
Yeah, like Stephen Strange,
Stephen Strange. Was there a thing behind that?
No, it was my grandfather's name, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
So everyone in the family usually either has Steven, their middle name, or...
Because I feel like there's something fun about asking people about their full names. So Kaleb Stephen Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Make sure you have it H-A-N on the last name.
People
forget the A.
Right, yeah, Vaughn. We'll spell it out right here for everybody. Yeah, someone listening is like, oh, Vaughn. That's a cool
letters going across the screen.
Exactly, yeah. But again, we did meet last year at the summer retreat. It was a fun time.
It was a good time.
You kind of saw me, the first time you saw me, I think I showed up in the blazer.
That's right, yep, you sure
and
did.
You were like, who's this guy?
Who's this punk?
Who's this punk? Yeah, but it was cool. Yeah, I met you, I met Jeff, I met a few other people there, but those retreats are always fun. And it brings us together. And it also provides me content, because look, now he's on here.
Yeah, look at that, easy.
I'm just using you guys.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, and you're just using me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously. We're just using each other.
Yeah.
I think that's what the media stuff is all about, right?
Sure,
right. But again, so you're not. What I want to say is you're pretty familiar with this type of environment in a way, because you have your own podcast, right?
Yeah. The Liberty Esports podcast on Spotify. Go check it out, please.
Right. And again, you guys kind of mainly just talk sports on.
Yeah, like esports, pretty much. It's either esports or just sometimes we talk about regular things.
Yeah.
It's a hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes we'll have guests who've never even heard of it before, so we'll just talk about whatever they like to do or anything like gaming and stuff like that.
Are you how many hosts are there on that show?
It's just me.
It's just you. Yeah. So you're hosting it, and then
just like the Ethan Hahn podcast.
So I love that. Love that. Yeah. Make your own content. You have full control over who you have on, what you talk about.
I usually have full control. If I like to have other people around, I like to invite them, because sometimes it's hard to do it as a solo. Sometimes when you're trying to ask questions and stuff,
it's tough.
And you'll get some people who just are like, yeah.
Dude,
okay.
One word. I only had, again, I always mention it on here, but there's only been one episode where that happened. I did end up posting. I'm not going to say which one. but holy cow,
Yeah.
it was hard.
It's annoying.
And it makes you. I remember because this was pretty early in the game too with the show. It was like, man, is this a good idea? Because
Yeah.
I thought I was doing a bad
Yeah,
idea.
for
But then when I look back at the footage, I'm like, you know what? No, I was giving them some good stuff.
You
I
are,
was giving them
yeah,
some good
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. But it's always hard. I think what's everyone. The one rule is talk, and I'm not even worried about Caleb because I know we're just
Oh, yeah, we
chat
like
up
to
a
talk.
story.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We just talk a lot.
We do talk
I think
a lot.
especially at the camp
Oh,
too.
yeah,
There's a lot of
camp,
talking
yeah.
nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, so yeah, you have your esports podcast. How many episodes do you got?
Only 3, I believe, right
Three.
now. Yeah,
Three.
yeah,
Right.
3.
Right.
So
And how
working
long-
on number 4.
How long are the episodes when you do them?
So we had our first 2, which were like an hour long ish.
Yeah.
And then number 3 was actually 2 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking with one of our coaches for one of our specific games.
Yeah.
And we just got really deep into conversation. Really big on mentality, kind of in what we do.
Sure.
And stuff like that. So yeah, he's a very knowledgeable guy.
Yeah.
So he just likes to talk. And
it was your idea, the podcast?
Yeah. I started it up. We had this idea like a way back then, back in like 2018, 2019 is when the former president of the club I'm organizing now, he decided to do the podcast, and then they had like 2 or 3 episodes in, and then they stopped. So I thought I'd bring it back and try to,
And the club is called Esports?
Yeah, it's Liberty Esports. Obviously, we're at Liberty University over in Lynchburg, Virginia. We're like the highest club that's at the school right now.
Besides the podcast, what does it entail, though, the whole esports idea?
So if anyone who doesn't know what esports is, it's just like competitive gaming. So we play against like colleges and like video games, like either Call of Duty, League of Legends, some other type of stuff. We play like that. And then it's basically just that. We just compete against other colleges at a collegiate level.
What's your favorite console when you guys...
I'm a PC.
PC.
Yeah.
Is it always PC?
So it's
is it
PC,
always PC when they do the competitions?
It depends. So some competitions will be sponsored by console. It'll be either Xbox or PS, like PS.
Yeah.
Some don't care, whichever you compete on. The ones I compete in are only PC.
Sure.
So I focus mainly on PC, but I do have people who do play on Xbox or PS. But if you had to ask me which one I would prefer... I don't know. It's kind of tough because I really enjoyed both. I had an Xbox One and a PS3, and I really enjoyed the heck out of my PS3.
Yeah. What games did you play the most?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty was always Call of Duty.
Yeah. I still play it now, but
yeah.
that was the most I played. I was really big into first-person shooters just because I just enjoyed the fast-paced kind of stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
And like that. So yeah, I mean, probably Xbox right now, just because it's
for me it was always kind of Xbox. I had nothing against PlayStation, but I think it was just kind of Xbox always made its way into my life. Like it was the first thing. I don't even think my dad knew what it was. He just knew he wanted to get me a console.
Yeah,
it was like I think kindergarten or first grade. I came home. I didn't ask for it.
Yeah,
actually, I should ask him how he thought about this, but. I remember I just went home and he had an Xbox, the original Xbox for me. And I was just like, Maybe someone told him to get it for me, but I remember the first game we played, and this is like my first time ever touching.
Is this what Xbox is this?
The
Xbox,
OG.
The OG. Like the one, it's like a big brick.
Yes, the OG. It's like, and there's an X design on it. Yeah. And I remember this is my first time ever holding like a game controller too. Because my dad was a huge gamer. He didn't have like a Nintendo 64 or any of that. Yeah. And I remember we put in this racing game called like Rally Sports, and I didn't know how to start the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I start it? And we're like, we spent a good few minutes, and then we pressed the R trigger.
And it worked.
And I was like, oh, R trigger. Okay, yeah, all right. We pushed that, and ever since then, I was like, oh, cool. And then from then on, my fascination with Halo, I think my uncle, he found out I had an Xbox, and he was like, oh, you know what game you got to play? And he let me borrow Halo.
Gotcha.
And I was stuck on it from there. So for me, I was always Xbox. Never got into PC. There was one PC game I played. No, there was two.
Okay.
VeggieTale Pirates.
Yo.
And
throwback.
And a Rugrats game.
Rugrats. Okay.
Something about Rugrats. I had to collect cookies or something. Yeah, but
I didn't really get into it until my dad. I remember this so vividly. I was sitting at home. And I remember I was asking my dad if we could get a PS3.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what he said, but I went to the closet, and we used to have this piggy bank where we just store money.
Sure.
And I took it out, and I started counting what was in there to see if I could afford it.
Yeah.
And then he saw me, I guess, counting it, and he was like, all right, let's go. And so we went, and he got it for me. So, I mean, my dad really started me with...
Nice.
As much as he would probably not like to admit it, he did start it for me.
He started the gaming
He started the gaming obsession.
And again, you said he has played games? I'm trying to picture your dad playing games.
Yeah, I know,
That's
right?
why.
He definitely played a lot with my brother in terms of like the sports games.
Sure.
It's like Madden
okay.
and FIFA and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
My
makes
brother's
sense. That makes sense.
My brother's huge into sports games and stuff like that. I'm not. I don't really like sports games except for like soccer. FIFA is pretty much my thing, but other than that,
right.
not really. But yeah, I mean, I used to play this game. It was Star Wars Battlefront 2. I vividly remember Star Wars Battlefront 2.
That game is so good.
Yes.
It was so good.
Like 2005, by the way, not the
not the new
not
one.
the new
Not
one.
the new
Trash.
one. Not the new
the
one.
old OG one.
I remember the OG Battlefront was already like
it was already good.
It was already mind blowing.
Yes, it was already mind blowing.
Then they took it a step a notch.
Yep.
And I don't even, like, they just added things and they were just like smooth. And the graphic, even when you kind of watch the graphics, you're like, this is still pretty decent.
It's still pretty
Like,
decent for
pretty
I think
decent.
it was 2005. It was decent for 2005.
Because I remember, I think in the first Battlefront, you couldn't play as a Jedi, and then this one was like, oh, you can play as everyone now, and it was like, what?
Yep.
Yeah, great game, dude. Because they don't make them like that.
They don't
anymore.
make them like that anymore.
These new
Well, it's so centered around like I feel like a lot of corporations nowadays are so focused on making money that they don't care what their story outcomes are.
You're preaching, because I talked to Gilbert about this. For me, the biggest thing is, there's two big things with games these days, and this may be going to age us, but I don't care. I remember the day when you could just put it in a game and it starts.
And it starts. Yep.
And it just starts. Now there's like a 1 day download.
Yep, 1 day
sometimes
download,
1 day download. You can't even play it right away. And then on top of that, with some of these games, you have to pay for so much extra
more
crap.
content.
I mean, and those new Battlefront games were notorious, for that.
Yeah.
They fixed them.
When it first came out, they had like the crate system where you had to buy your pay to win stuff.
And people were giving them a hard time. Which, as they should,
As they should. Yeah.
And I think that's like the worst thing that's come out of gaming is like they're all just trying to make money.
Then they fixed it.
They fixed it. You can't.
But the issue with that is that EA, the people who design or who are leading the game or whatever, they stopped development as soon as they started getting better.
So hang on, okay. So going back, because since we're still on the topic of video games, going back to when you're on the esports podcast, when you're hosting it, is it talks like this?
Yeah, so it's more talks like this. Usually it's with people who are in the esports space. So sometimes it'll be my managers, sometimes it'll be the founder. The first one was with the founder and one of my players, and we just talked about like the mindset behind competing, what it's like and
That's
stuff
cool.
like that.
Yeah, the background of it.
Yeah, and we just pretty much sat there, talked. I'm trying to think about what we talked about mostly. It was just our game, what we play. I play Rainbow Six Siege, so that's the game I play.
Yeah.
We talked about that for like an hour, and then what the mentality was and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you guys don't do video podcasts though.
Not yet. That's the plan. That's the plan in the future.
Yeah,
It's harder because I live in an apartment with like.
Are you doing it in that apartment? You're doing it.
I did it. So we did it virtually over like Discord or whatever.
Yeah.
And try to get that, but I'm trying to get it in person so it'll sound better and look better, obviously, because you can do a lot more stuff when you're in person and when you're out of person. So
you just kind of have the audio through the
app.
The app. I got you.
And
which still works.
It still works.
Like, as long as you understand the person, that's what matters. But I do. Yeah, I feel that too because I mean I've done 2 podcasts on Zoom, mainly because the people were far away. They're not in state.
Of course.
I just did it. And I was just like, oh, you know what? Doesn't sound too bad. Like it's doable.
It's doable.
It's
definitely doable.
What kind of mic do you use? What's your setup?
I have just bought a mic recently. It was it's called the HyperX Quadcast Pro or whatever, I can't remember.
Okay.
It's like a gaming mic that a lot of streamers use, but I just use it, and it has really good audio on it, so I've been using that. Probably gonna get something like this for
sure. No, I'm gonna have to make a list for you
make
guys.
a list, for sure, because we're definitely trying to get something like this for our when I get back to Liberty and I can make these in person.
For sure.
Obviously I want it to sound better and stuff like that. So
because again the stuff I got was the bare minimum.
Of course.
I told myself keep it simple until I can make more money out of this podcast. But it's working. Just like it's working, and it looks fancy because originally in that first photo there, me and Cisco are holding the mics.
The mics, yes,
and you hear it just kind of shaking around. I'm like, I need to get some sort of holders.
Humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings, exactly. But so again, because I think it'll be cool for you to upgrade over there. But then of course you are also involved in the Good Shepherd Baptist Church.
Those people. Yeah.
And before we started here, you said they're looking at making a green room or a little media room.
Yeah. So I was trying to get the podcast going. Trying to get PC.
Because he was talking to me about
anyone who doesn't know who PC is Pastor Carlos.
He's going to be on soon. He's going to be one of the either next or the next 2 episodes. He's going to hop on, but because we're going to dive into maybe this area a little bit now too. But so you and him are kind of talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about starting it. we had 2 of our church members went on a missions trip to Africa.
Chad and Robin.
That's
That's really cool, man.
And I'm thinking we're going to
Yeah.
try and get them on and talk about their experience
yes.
over in Africa. And so that's the plan.
No, that would be sick. Yeah, because again, so what I'll say here, give some background and more on Kaleb. Kaleb Vaughn here is a pastor's kid. Is that the right term?
The
we use?
PK.
The PK. He's a PK. Shout out to Pastor
Paul.
Pastor Paul Vaughn over at the Good Shepherd Baptist Church. That is his dad.
Yep.
If you see him, you would know what chest day looks like.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's built.
Yeah, exactly. And again, that's how I met Kaleb, is pretty much through the church activities, again through the retreat last year.
Yeah.
And him and Pastor Carlos, shout out to Pastor Carlos, are gonna maybe start a podcast over there. And what would you just focus, just church related things?
Focus on church related things, either what's going on right now just in the church in general, or what's or like just the sermons that we run over and stuff like that. More clarity behind of what we're talking about.
That would be, I think that would be cool, because people could tune in. And I mean, again, I'm not too
I think it's easy to talk or to listen to it when it's in a discussion type format.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. I think there's something fun about it. Like, again, someone can listen to it in their car, play in the background, and then if they hear something they're interested in, like, oh, okay. Because that was for me. I was just like, I'm going to just record conversations, and I'm sure
it's like what we were talking about at camp with the Bible audio.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so much easier to listen to stuff than it is to read stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't read nearly as much as I did way back in like middle school or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's easier to digest it when it's audio.
I think that's one thing that I think the culture today is kind of adapted to. I think it's audio things in general. Like, it's just easier
It's
listening.
so much digital. It's digital
There's
now.
so many digital
So many
things.
digital. I feel like we're going to phase out of books.
Right.
Yeah, like at some point.
Yeah.
Do you ever think we're going to phase out of books completely? Except for like
That's a crazy question.
except for like maybe like just for like relics, right? Or like libraries and stuff.
I would say I think mainstream wise, yes, but I think we're always gonna have people.
I think we'll always have books. I just think it's going to become less and less of a thing over the years.
Maybe eventually in the future, it'd be fascinating to see in schools them kind of just be like, okay, we're listening to the audio. Yep. That would be interesting.
Yeah, because everything is online nowadays. I mean,
it's pretty easy.
It's all internet. I mean,
it's also kind of scary.
It is. It's scary.
To you, do you want technology to keep going, or should it just stop? I tell people, I think the next thing we should do maybe is holograms, then stop.
Yep.
I want to do holograms.
So like, here's the thing. I am super big into VR right now. Like VR is my thing right now.
Sure.
I've been like looking into it and stuff like that, and just playing on my Oculus headset that I have right now.
Yeah.
And it's scary how real those things can get. It's really scary. I think that is a tough question. Would I rather it keep going? Okay, here's my thing, right?
Yeah.
As we evolve, or like as humans evolve and stuff like that, the way that technology is going right now, I think it's going to get to a point where it's either going to get us into a competitive environment with other nations, and it's going to get really
Ready Player One,
literally Ready Player One type beat. I think it's going to get all I'm going to say is I think it's going to get scary. I just don't know where to stop, because I don't think we know where to stop ourselves.
Exactly.
So,
because what worries me is I think that this is the stuff that scares me, is when I go online and I see the Asian folk in China or Japan messing around, and they're making like androids of humans that look real.
Yep.
And it's like an anime woman, and I'm like, okay, there's several uses for that. And I'm like unsure. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
But I don't like that they're trying to do that. What's also a scary thing? It's very local. And when I go to grocery stores, a lot of registers are pretty much gone.
Self-checkout now.
It's all pretty much self-checkout. And I'm like, that kind of sucks. That's literally jobs getting taken away
for sure,
at that point, So that's another scary thing that I think, like we said, I don't think we know when to stop.
I don't think we know. I think we'll know when we know when to stop. It'll
our
be
demise.
When we know to stop, it'll be too late.
It'll be too late.
Every time I think about it, I either think about
Have you seen the movie iRobot?
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, when I think about it,
it's a perfect example.
When I think about it, either iRobot or like Terminator, right?
Terminator. Yeah.
I mean, Terminator is the far extreme of where we think it's gonna go.
Yeah.
But iRobot, oh my gosh, what a fantastic film!
Great film, right?
Yes. What's his name?
Good old Will Smith.
Will Smith did a fantastic job.
G.I. Jane too.
I think Yeah, it's scary. I think that's the reason why we create those films, is try to, see, like, imagine what it would be.
It also sparks. I mean, it sparks the imagination. Maybe I would hope it makes us more cautious.
Yes.
But I think Elon is saying F it.
Elon.
I think he's saying
Elon
F it,
doesn't care.
and he's just like, no, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say this. I think technology, holograms, and I think it would be cool to get some commercial flights into space.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we'll
not,
get
not to destination, but I think
sure.
it would be cool just to see, like, fly me up to space, like a little tour. I think it'd be pretty dope. I want to see space.
We'll get there. We'll get there definitely at some point. Elon's working on it. Everyone else is working on it.
Yeah.
It's just in terms of I was trying to.
Would you go to space?
Yeah, if I had the opportunity, 100%. I would.
Had the money?
I mean,
Yeah.
why not?
Why
you?
wouldn't you want to go to space? Exactly.
Or we could talk about what's his name? Oh gosh, who doesn't believe in space? What was his name?
Stevie.
We gotta get Stevie on the podcast.
I want to get. You know what? Maybe I'll clip this out real quick. I'll debate it later on. But Stevie Hayes, we all saw your post regarding space, saying it's not real.
We saw it,
and we're not wrong. It's what he said.
Yeah.
And we just want. Hey,
we just want to know what are you talking about?
This is my formal invitation to you to come on the podcast.
Please.
And please, let's explain it.
Let's explain it.
I'm an open-minded guy. Maybe I'll leave being like, space is made in China. Yeah, fake.
Yeah, fake.
Fake.
China made space.
Right, yeah, made in space.
I mean,
but who knows?
It's like it's like flat Earth.
Right.
And that whole spiel on birds ain't real. They aren't real. I'm telling you right now, they are not real.
So he talked about this on the retreat. We'll get into this, and then I want to get into the retreat too.
Yes, go ahead.
So we're sitting around, and you. Well, how did we talk about it?
I don't know. We were talking.
Oh no, JC's is okay.
Oh yes.
Fun fact about Jaziel Adilion, JC, who's been on a couple times. She's gonna hate me for this. She's scared of birds. Everyone. Yes. She's scared of chickens.
Very scared of birds.
And we were talking about that, and she was like. Birds over there. She was freaking out over seagulls. Yep. And then you brought up the topic that you believe
birds aren't real.
I'm willing to
seagulls and pigeons.
As long as you're not saying all of them.
Yep.
I'm willing to
maybe
back
ravens,
him up on this.
One of those two.
Birds are government sent.
Yes.
Robotic.
I'm still going to stand on this theory.
Please.
When there was government shutdown, this is back in like 2012-ish, maybe, somewhere around in high school when I was in the government shutdown for a little bit. I did not see a single bird. I kid you not.
This wasn't 2020. You're talking about earlier.
No, this is earlier.
Oh.
This is way back in like
this guy, you've been on this for years.
I've been on this for a while. I wrote a paper on this in high school.
He has a diary.
Yes. But no, I swear, when I went out to go outside for this whole government shutdown that lasted like for, I can't remember how long, I didn't see a single bird. I kid you not. No birds. So that whole time I was like, this is kind of...
And was that something you were looking for? You like, where are the birds at?
Yeah, so I was going to the bus stop one day, and I'm looking around, I'm like, usually I hear birds and I see birds. So I'm looking around, I don't see a single bird.
Fascinating.
Come back, still don't see a bird. Like a few days, still don't see birds. And then as soon as the government opens up, I see birds. I'm telling you, I know something's going on.
What made you think that though? Did you read something online? Did someone talk to you about it?
Funnily,
there had to be a thought.
Yes. Funny enough, we were talking about what's the word I'm looking for? Conspiracies.
Yeah.
At school, and we were talking about like us writing these conspiracy theories, and I was just looking up like what conspiracies are going on, and one of them was birds ain't real, and I was like, oh, this is funny, this is fake, and then sure enough, that happens, and I'm like, no shot, this is true, right?
So, yeah.
Like it's a meme that I kind of believe this, but like there's some little bit of me that are kind of like, what
I
if?
I don't blame you. No, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I think I'm willing to believe enough that the government controls something that we see every day to an extent. I mean, we're being tracked.
Oh, for sure. On our phones,
on the phones,
laptops.
There's something we don't know. Look, I think we should all be aware that we're not always alone. Like I think we're all being watched. I mean, besides God. I think government-wise,
government-wise,
there's some spies. Well, I think that whole joke of like our FBI agent watching us. I think there's some truth. I think there's some truth to that.
I don't think it's like as. I mean, like obviously they're not watching us 24/7, but like if we make a statement or something, they're definitely watching.
I think if there's like an alarming statement, like, "Yo, man, I'm telling you, Biden, I'm about to
clap." But
you ready to clap Biden at this assassination deal at the graduation?
Yeah, now they're watching us.
Now they're watching us.
They're listening to the Ethan Hahn podcast.
My laptop light just turned on. It's like we just heard assassination.
Yeah.
Just heard it. Yeah.
But
that was a conspiracy theory of yours, and again I can back that up. For a second, you scared me when he mentioned
all birds,
because I was like,
not
no
all
way,
birds.
not all birds.
I say like pigeons and
worried.
pigeons and seagulls and maybe.
I could see
maybe
pigeons.
ravens. Maybe
I could see
ravens.
pigeons. Maybe crows.
Crows. That's what I was thinking about.
Crows are
ravens.
scary. They're probably the one bird I'll be scared
Mm-hmm.
of. Because there's something like, they seem vengeful when they're around you. Like, caw, caw.
I was always scared of vultures. Like the
Sure.
I'm gonna pick up
I
dead
think
things. And
we
stuff.
have reasonable bird
Yeah,
fear as
yeah,
opposed to
bird.
chickens.
JC.
JC's a chicken.
I can't do that. I can't. It's so funny. But no, we were in. I used to live in Washington State. I'm a military kid, so I used to live around a lot. We lived in Washington State, and we saw these bald eagles like constantly. And let me tell you, dude, those things are scary.
Sure.
Not in terms of
You
like
saw them constantly like in the air or near you.
near you. So that they'll be like on branches, like just sitting there, or they'll be on
Yeah.
the ground. Those things are tall. You don't think they're tall, but they're like 4 feet. These things are
What the heck?
Yeah, these things are the size of children.
So the trap pond that
Trap
we
pond retreat.
camped at, not too shabby.
Yep.
It was a fun time.
It was a good time. It was really nice weather.
We got lucky.
Yes, we did.
We got really
I
lucky
was
with that weather.
when I heard we were going camping, like actual camping, I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh Lord, it's gonna be hot as heck."
Because it's a
Yep.
gamble. It's either hot, it's going to be hot, or it's going to be cold, or it's going to rain. And I'm like, man, we're going to get one of these. I just know it. But luckily, on the way
Luckily, it was
there,
really
it was nothing.
nice.
Fun time. You drove down with Glenn.
Sure did,
That's
yep.
pretty cool. And we had a time.
Yeah, we did.
So like the first night, we kind of we
Just
settled
vibed.
the camp down. I'll be posting a vlog about it too.
The Gucci tent,
The Gucci tent. He brought this man walks in with a mansion tent.
16-person tent.
And I want to
by
say
the way.
you Vaughns, you're packing it. You guys got money, huh?
I told my parents that when I
He's
got
taking
back.
some money from the church the church service.
I told my parents when I got back, I was like, yeah, they think we're rich, by the way. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, I brought out that tent. They were like, woo. And then I brought out the seat, and everyone was using it.
the chair.
The chair.
I'll put footage of it here. He had this chair. He had like a reclining
back chair. Yeah.
And then I'm like, man, like they live lavish in
Yeah.
the Vaughn household. They live lavish in there. But yeah, we set up the camp, and then again, there was like, in your tent, you did little sections. We could unzip them.
Yep.
If anything, we all could have just crashed.
We
in
could
there.
have.
It would have been really cramped.
It would have been really
but
cramped.
But
it would have been. It would have been
kind of fun.
It would have been
kind of fun
yeah.
that way. Yeah. But we had 4 tents. It was a fun time. We all kind of separated, and again, yeah, the weather was beautiful. Then we decided, hey, let's get some food.
Oh gosh.
Then we went to Cookout.
Cookout.
Which they told me you worked at a Cookout.
I did for a year. Yep.
In Virginia.
In Virginia.
Is Cookout prominent in Virginia? Or
Very. So down south, it's pretty prominant.
So like, would you say, is it like a McDonald's in every corner?
Not a McDonald's, I'd
But
say.
it's
Probably
known.
It's like I'm trying to think. What is? I'm trying to think.
Cookout is like, again, like a fast food
It's like
yeehaw
yeah, it's like
restaurant.
it's the mix. It's in the middle between McDonald's and Five Guys.
Sure. And it was like, your typical American food, your hush puppies.
Hamburger.
Quesadillas were a side.
Quesadillas.
That was a quesadillas, because your corn dogs.
yeah.
And we decided to go there because everyone always hyped it up.
Everyone
to me,
hyped it up to you and
but
Cisco.
then because I guess you introduced them to it because you
Yeah,
knew
so
about Cookout.
I introduced. So we were at I can't remember. We were at either camp or something, and then we were trying to figure out where to go. And I was like,
Yeah.
why don't we go to Cookout? And they're like, what the heck is Cookout? And then we went to go Cookout. Everyone loved it. They thought it was
Yeah.
the best thing known to man because it's not that expensive either.
Oh, very cheap.
It's very.
That was the
cheap.
biggest plus to it.
Yeah, mhm.
So they're all hyping
I
it
think
up
that's what
to us.
that's what makes it good.
That's what makes it good. Is
cheap.
knowing I didn't spend much money on
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
They're hyping it up, and me and Cisco. I mean, me especially. I was like, Gilbert always talks about this. Let's get some
Hypes it up.
Cookout.
Yep.
Let's go. We're on a car ride. We pass a store that's like the red light district, and I'm like, what's that? I don't know what that is. And then
I totally forgot about that.
I saw that. Yeah, we saw like we were seeing a store that was called Red Light District.
Oh, yeah.
Was already the first red.
It was
flag.
already the first when we were driving
Area-wise.
Area-wise, we saw like, oh, this looks like a nice area, red light district. Oh, okay, so that's where we are.
So those are what the local folk do around here. Yeah,
Yep.
lingerie.
Yeah, lingerie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So then we see the Cookout,
Yep.
and then I'm like, oh, sweet Cookout. I'm like vlogging every little moment. I'm like, I'm gonna record my reaction. Here we go. Then we all kind of line up. I'm
Line up,
towards
get
the
our
back. I
food.
think you were one of the first
I
people
was
to
one of
get
the
your.
first
You were
people
one
to
of the
get
first people to get
mine.
your food, and
Everybody knew what I wanted.
you
when
were
I got
kind of
there.
like this. You had this like guru sensei thing. Like, I'll tell you what to do.
Yep, mhm.
There's this thing called the tray.
Yeah, the tray.
You were telling us about the tray, what's on the tray, and in the menu, and I'm like, oh, okay, you can like put things on the shake.
Yep.
Cool. You get 2 sides. This guy was the master. What did you do when you worked there? Everything.
I was a cashier.
You're what?
I was
Oh,
a
you're just a cashier.
I cashiered, and then I also I had a grill, milkshake machine. I did pretty much everything.
Okay.
Stock. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't really grill as much. I only grilled like maybe once. I wasn't a fan of it, so I kind of just stuck to milkshake and cashier for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Did you like the job overall though?
It was okay. I mean,
was it a good area?
I probably never work at a fast food restaurant ever again. But
it's hard.
It was a good experience for high school.
Was that your first job ever?
Yeah, first job ever.
Yeah,
so it was a good experience for high school,
That's
Caleb.
Cool. Exactly. Right.
It was in okay. So you said the area.
Was your area okay?
Portsmouth, Virginia. Very hood. we'll just say that.
Very hood.
Very
very public school.
I would constantly get people out. Like, so my manager was always short on people, and he would always ask me to stay late. And I was like, heck yeah, money. I want to stay late.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'd stay. The longest I stayed was still closing at 4 a.m. So that was a good time.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyways, I stayed, and dude,
you seem like a patient guy though.
I was. I mean, I wasn't really like, if it was money and it was like a Friday
go with the
or
flow.
Saturday, I'm like, yeah, sure. And then sometimes I would tell him, I was like, yeah, if I do it, just give me the day off next day or whatever.
Yeah,
so I did it, and this dude, constant amount of people either drunk, high, or on something.
Sure.
Instant.
And Cookout seems like the place you would want after something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
So you encounter those, but so what I can say is, again, we're in line. Everyone. So I'll say from my perspective, right? So we're in line, and I'm in the back with JC and Franz.
Yep.
And JC orders her food. She gets a small meal. And I plan to get a small meal too. Franz behind me, he's talking about getting 5 meals.
Yeah, man's is like, I'm gonna get 5.
He got like 5 meals to
I think he got like 3
to
though.
3 to like last the whole weekend.
Yep.
Which part of me is a good and bad idea, but he was doing his thing.
Oh, that's another point we'll have to get into.
So the three of us order our food, and I remember JC gets hers. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm waiting for mine, still waiting, and then they call Franz. They get his food.
Yep.
His 3 meals.
3 meals.
I ordered 1 meal and a
You
shake.
still didn't get it yet.
As Franz walks over and everyone's eating their food, we hear a ruckus.
Oh gosh.
We hear a ruckus in the dark.
In the dark.
Hey yo, cuz.
Hey yo, cuz, what's up,
Hey yo,
cuz?
hey yo, cuz. Hey yo, cuz. Yo, man, I'm really F you up, man.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I'm really F you up, dog. I'm really F you up. Like some very foul language.
Yes,
a lot of just some high schoolers. I think like
I think they were high schoolers.
I think 4 punky high schoolers. Kind of like so they, and I didn't hear this part. If you heard it when they walked past us, because everyone was sitting on the ground, the curb, the parking lot, because there was no table seating.
No seating.
But the vibe was kind of.
The vibe was good.
The vibe was good to lay a blanket down and
just
eat in the parking lot. When they walked past us, apparently one of them was like, "Why y'all on the ground?"
Yeah.
Did you hear them say that?
No, I didn't hear him say that. So apparently they said that to Laura.
Yeah.
And Gilbert heard it, and he's kind of like...
Yeah, and Gilbert's like a state trooper.
Looks at all of us, and he's like, yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah, Gilbert's getting ready to, you know, call the cops.
I see him stretching over there.
He started stretching.
He was like...
Started stretching,
He was ready. He was ready.
And so they're at the takeout window, and there's like... still causing a ruckus.
They are. Yeah.
Everyone's eating, and I'm like, here, where's my food?
Where's my food? I need
Where's
to go.
Where's my food? We need to hustle. And, you know, one piece of advice we'll give everyone, which I think we were doing the right thing, mind your business.
Mind your business.
So if you see something like that you're kind of sketched out about, just that's them. That's their show.
Their show.
I'm not going to acknowledge. If they acknowledge us, still ignore them.
Yep. Pretty much, yeah.
I'm not going to do anything.
Yep.
But, you know, the 4 of them are just kept saying, yo, come, man, I'll mess you up, dog. Like, yo, don't play with me, dog. Like, I'll really mess with you up, dog. I'll mess you up, dog. Yeah, I'll mess you up now.
Yeah.
And then we overhear Gilbert and Franz talking.
Like, hey, we need to go.
Yeah, Franz is like, we should go. And then here's Gilbert, get up. Everyone, get up. Get up. He like made a face. His face was very intense too. He was stern.
It was very intense.
Like I was like, and I looked at him like, and I wasn't scared until that point.
Yeah.
If
you know that Gilbert's doing that, you need to go.
So I heard Gilbert say it, Franz said it, then Glenn got up.
Glenn got
like,
up.
Yep,
Yeah,
let's go Bulls.
Yep,
Let's go Bulls.
Let's go Bulls.
Let's go Bulls. And what was in your moment where you just?
I mean,
you're like whatever, right?
I've experienced it, and I'm kind of like,
right.
I was like, these kids are really gonna do something. I mean.
Right, we outnumber them.
Yeah.
We outnumber them. I would have recorded it.
It was funny because afterwards, Glenn, Franz, and Gilbert were like, "Oh yeah, we could have taken him. Yeah, we got it."
They were saying that. They were saying that like, "Yo, bro, we could have taken him, dog.
Yeah,
we could have taken him." I was like, "Okay." But so I felt bad because as I'm waiting there for the shake, everyone started walking away,
and you're just sitting there.
My heart was slowly increasing. The heart rate. I'm like, "Oh my god, we need to hurry up! Like, get my shake." And then Gio and Cisco stuck with me. And Gio Gio, in his Gio fashion.
Gio doesn't care.
He was
Gio didn't care.
His neck was perched over. He was
eating his milkshake.
Eating his shake. He's like, and his neck perched over. He was unfazed too.
He was unfazed.
I think he's used to it too.
He was used to it, yeah.
You could tell who wasn't used to it and who was, And then I go up to the lady, the girl, and I was just like, hey, where's my food? And she's like, oh, we're waiting on your shake. I'm like, it's been like 10 minutes, which feels like an hour because of these thugs. So we got to hurry it up. Yeah. And then I felt bad because I think they were teasing the cashier a little bit.
The poor girl.
Yeah. And then eventually I did get my shake. But I was upset because I couldn't record my reaction.
I know. I was upset because I wasn't there to see it.
I wanted you to see it. I wanted you to record my reaction. But no, these guys had to ruin it. And eventually, as I did get my shake, though, they did walk away.
They did. Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was so funny because we were just trying to get out of there at that point. Mm-hmm. Saya got back out of his car.
I know, he was gone.
And gets seconds.
Yeah, he was gone.
I was like, what the heck is going on here? Yeah. Mm. But that was it. That was an interesting
what was your thoughts on Cookout?
I love Cookout. Yeah. Okay, the food was good. The atmosphere was awful.
Obviously.
I wish those guys just didn't show up and ruin it. But I think, again, lesson learned, I guess.
If that experience wasn't there.
If that wasn't there, that would have been an amazing Cookout dinner, But I had to eat it in the car. The shake was good. Listen, shake was good. The Oreo chunks, amazing. Mm-hmm. The burger was really tasty. I wish I could have gotten a second one, but I couldn't have. Yeah. But then onion rings good, fries were good. Then I was happy because Saya, when he came back with more food, I was able to try the hush puppies. Yep. Those were tasty. But I think it was ruined. Where in Virginia? Are they everywhere in Virginia?
Everywhere in Virginia.
Okay, because so next time I go, because I do have relatives there, I'm gonna have to look for it, see if there's a Cookout nearby.
It's like if you look in Virginia, I guarantee there's a bunch. Yeah. In Virginia, so I mean, obviously,
I'll have to look for it.
We know. Just look it up. We just look it up on the maps. It'll be on there. I guarantee you. If you go in Virginia, you'll find it. So basically, this is. I want anyone representative of Cookout listening to this. Great food, but that atmosphere needs to be fixed.
Not even. I'm sure there's good cookouts. The Salisbury Cookout. Do some renovations.
No, they were doing renovations. That's why we couldn't sit
That's
inside.
why we couldn't go in. Yeah. Get some secure. Maybe get a bouncer. Yeah. Maybe get a bouncer. I think they needed a cookout bouncer there. Yeah. Because that was terrifying. I mean, it was a smart decision because Franz made a point. He's like, you never know. What if one of them has a gun?
Yep. You never would have known what would have happened.
And then we're all there on our church mission. We're not trying to die yet. As much as we want to get in touch with God. But that happened. That was fun. And then we go back and then we had a little nighttime little sesh. Mm-hmm. Next day happens. We eat some brekkie. That was fun. Some spam. You're a spam guy, right? Spam and eggs. You're a big spam guy.
I thought it was okay. I mean, I don't really eat spam a lot, but when I do, it's good.
Spam's cool. And then next day, I think we did some sessions and then volleyball. We had a little volleyball session. There's some clips right here for you.
That was a good time.
Volleyball was fun. The paddle boats were fun. We did paddle boats too.
JC ran into a tree.
So okay, explain that. So a few of us got on a paddle boat, paddle boards, and then they got on a canoe. You and JC shared a canoe, and Gio and Glenn shared one.
Yeah. So okay, here's what happened.
Here's the footage, and then you explain it.
Okay. Yeah. Here's what happened. JC likes to blame it on me that I rammed her into the tree.
Sure.
But what happened is that we were trying to get into this area with trees because we were like there's shade there and Gio and Glenn were there. We were just gonna chill there for a little bit in the shade, enjoy nature. Yeah. And so we're going towards this tree and I told JC, I was like, we're gonna hit this tree. And she's sitting there with her phone like trying to take a photo and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I said, we're going to hit this tree. And then sure enough, she starts freaking out. And then she gets hit by the tree and she starts bending over and stuff. And I start laughing because I'm like, I told you what was going to happen.
So you're saying, so she wasn't paying attention?
Oh, no, usually. You know how she is.
Yeah. On her phone?
Love you, JC. I love you, JC. I promise.
So was she rowing? Was she helping you row?
Oh, of course. But not at that point. Right. I was rowing by myself at that point.
So you were rowing her into the tree. Yeah.
I was angling it because she wasn't paying attention.
It was that centerpiece because when it was a huge pond and there was a centerpiece of trees.
There was, it was that centerpiece of trees.
So you guys went there and then you almost because luckily she was able to duck.
Oh, she was. No, she like fully. She did like a little gymnastics move.
But it was not really a tree. Bad. It was just a little twig.
A little twig.
She had to go under a twig. Again, I'll put the footage here. Gio sent me the full clip.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So you guys did that, and then you guys switched.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't switch.
You guys did switch.
No, we didn't.
JC went over to Glenn's boat. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I remember that they messed my mind up with that. I'm like, did you guys switch? Like, no, we didn't. And you guys came back.
We're sitting there, and they're like, yeah, let's switch. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So me and Gio got in, and then it was Glenn and her.
That's funny. I want to try the canoe night. It did look safer. It looked safer than I thought.
It was good. I mean, at the beginning, it was kind of scary because the guy pushed us off, and we almost like fully tipped, and I was like, oh, great. But no,
I would have cussed him out. I would have been so scared. I would have cussed that guy out. I'd be like, sir. No, for me, water activities. I
don't like water.
I wish I was more fun around that stuff. I don't know how to swim. When did you learn how to swim?
I went to YMCA little lessons.
YMCA,
and that, and just also being in the pool all the time because I love being in the pool.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
I'm comfortable in water.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
I'm like, so funny thing about that, my dad, he's in the Navy. I already told you about this.
Yeah.
He can't swim.
Your dad can't swim?
How funny is that he's in the Navy and he can't swim? Isn't that funny?
So really, to this day... Okay, I don't feel bad then. I don't feel bad.
Yeah. In the Navy, can't even swim. I mean, he could... bashing my dad. He can swim. It's just very...
bad. Because I think
he passed the requirements. We'll just say that.
Yeah, sure.
And he admits it too. He's like, yeah, I'm terrible.
I think I got a mean doggy paddle. Like, I think, okay, I don't want to... This thing, I don't want to experience, but I do think, okay, worst case, if I were to... Actually, maybe not, because I was in a worst case scenario and almost died. Because I want to say maybe I'll learn in the worst case scenario, but there was an occasion in the Savage race. Yeah. Me and Glenn went down a slide, and I thought, I even asked the guy, and he told me, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll float. I don't even know.
Maybe I'll float.
So I was on top of the slide, and it's this huge mudslide, and I asked him, how deep is that? He's like 7 feet.
You're like, oh.
And I don't know. Part of me was just like, what are the chances I'm dying today?
Yeah.
So
just what it was.
I was like, there's no way today's the day I die.
Yeah.
So I went for it.
Yeah.
I went down the slide with Glenn.
Yep.
And all I remember. And I'm like, I'm going to go up soon. Oh no!
Oh no! I'm not getting up.
I am still in the water.
I am still drowning.
Yep. And all I remember, and I thought this was, I thought it was the hand of God. Yep. Grab my wrist
and pull you up.
And then I hear my left ear, Glenn, I got you. I got you. And I'm like, oh. And then Glenn's like holding me in the water, and then the lifeguard
didn't even do nothing.
F this guy. He walks over in the slowest pace, a turtle pace. Yep. And he throws the thing in, like, willy-nilly. He's like, you know how to swim? And I was like, oh, no. Why'd you go in? He said it like that.
He said, why'd you go in?
He said it just like that.
Was he of ethnic descent?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Could you tell from the way?
Yeah, the way you said it.
He said, why'd you go in? And I'm like, and it was kind of like a laughing thing afterwards. But I was like kind of shook. I was like, I almost died.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's all mental.
I think it is.
It's all mental.
But I told myself maybe this is the moment.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Okay,
it wasn't a heroic moment.
I'm good in the water, if it's like open water, heck no. Like
ocean, so you're saying, let's say if a cruise is going down and a sinking ship.
I'm screwed. Well, okay, I can swim. That's not the thing. It's just being scared of what we don't know it's in the ocean.
Sure, yeah, I agree.
Sharks.
And that's a whole other thing,
like
dude.
Sharks.
Who know? We don't know what's in the ocean, dude. Mm-hmm. We've explored barely any of it.
It's like 3% or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But so I want to continue here and I'll segue into it as we're going through the retreat here. It was volleyball and then we had fun.
Top Gun volleyball.
Little Top Gun. We gave ourselves Top Gun names because Top Gun's a great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen it,
please.
I'm Hollywood. He's burrito. But then afterwards, we had a little bonfire, and we were trying to like snack, but we were too full. And we got a little topic about love, relationships, and a few interesting things.
Build your own woman.
Build your own woman. But now I'm going to segue into the relationship portion of this, and we'll kind of wrap things up, after this. But so we kind of talked about, our taste, build a babe. That's what we call it. Build a babe.
We did build a babe. Yeah.
Me and Caleb here are just a couple of bachelors, just a couple single guys looking for love. Are you looking? So you're looking for someone. Are you looking for someone that you want to marry at this point?
Yeah, obviously. Yes. I mean, liberty culture, dating culture is very.
By the way, for anyone, I don't think we established it. For anyone who doesn't know what liberty is, it's a Christian college.
A Christian private school.
Is it the Christian college? You'd say?
I would. I don't know.
Or is there one like Top Dog?
So in terms of students, like how many people go there. There's Grand Canyon University. It's not known as a Christian university, but it is a Christian university, and that's got like the most population wise.
Okay.
But if you ask someone about Christian university, you'll usually think of Liberty.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean the culture there is just it's marriage. If you're not dating for marriage, you don't date. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I think that should be the vibe. I think that's what you should be going for. You know, a lot of people are always like, have fun, hit it to quit it. And part of me is like, no, I kind of want to find someone to like, you know, I don't know, build a life with. You know, at this point, yeah.
Especially at this point, because I'm getting old.
Especially, you're 22.
21.
21. You're 21. Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
We need to hook you up, brother.
Dude, I'm struggling, bro. I'm struggling. Hey, come on now.
Come on. Yeah, what's up?
We'll put our bios right here.
Instagram bios. Here we go.
Yeah. All of our Tinder bios. But what kind of girl are you looking for, Caleb? Come on. Let's sell ourselves.
Sell ourselves to all the people listening to the podcast.
No, yeah.
I don't know.
Who are you looking for?
Obviously, a Christian woman, just because of what I believe in. I really, I've been in a relationship before with someone who isn't Christian. It's really, really difficult.
Sure.
Just lifestyle changes and stuff like that. But of course, Christian girl.
If you don't, hang on. Actually, if you don't mind me asking, when it goes to, you know, because you're very Christian, of course, and you said you were dating someone who's not. What was the most difficult part about it? You say.
I don't know.
Were the values just like?
It was the values.
Were you
the
trying
values
to, like,
were
were you
different.
trying to express that to her?
So the values were different, and mostly it was just like.
Was it very vocal?
I was carrying most of the weight, I guess, in the relationship. I could say.
Okay.
It was very difficult in terms of trying to get her to understand that doing some of the things we were doing weren't, like, I guess, biblical or, like, you know, solid relationship bound.
And she went to Liberty?
No, this is in high school.
Oh, high school. I was about to say.
I had a relationship in Liberty. I mean, we both weren't ready for a relationship. We shouldn't have done it. She was my best friend for like 3 years.
Okay.
Not gonna give a name because I don't want to call her out.
No.
But we were best friends for a while. It was it was difficult for me. It was, at least. Because we were really close and stuff. And then,
do you think the relationship kind of made things awkward?
It didn't make it awkward. It was good. It was a really good relationship. It was just I guess she saw it a different way than I did. So I mean, and there's nothing bad about that. You know, I respect it and stuff. I just for me, I just don't want to be put in that position again. So I don't really talk to her anymore. Just because I want to protect myself and her, so she doesn't have to deal with me most of the time.
Sure.
So, but I mean, it is what it is. You know, you can't really get upset about it. So.
Yeah.
But let me see. Perfect one. Like,
woman I want. Who are you looking for?
I'm not gonna go into like specifics.
No. Like,
but just like a Christian woman who's fun to hang around. You know, Star Wars. She has to like Star Wars. If she doesn't like Star Wars, I'm not dating you.
That's the number one request.
Right.
All the girls just tuned out.
Gone.
They were like, "Oh, Star Wars." I don't know.
That nerd show.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Just someone who knows how to have a good time. Like, I don't want someone who's boring. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I think for me, that's the same thing as like. Well, I will say again. For me, very extroverted. Probably share the same energy as me.
Yep.
But what I tell everyone, and again, it's a deal breaker.
It is.
For me, here's the deal breaker. They need to be able to get along with my family and friends, and they need to be able to hang out with them. Because I've seen so many relationships where the person complains like, "Oh my God, this person I can't bring here, bring there," and I'm just like, no, like, I'm sorry, like it's a serious deal because I need to be able to bring the person. They need to have fun at especially family, dude. That's the most important thing. Because if my parents don't like the person and they don't like them, I can't work. It can't work, man. Yeah,
because they don't like your family. There's no use.
What's the use? What's the use?
So I've never had that problem with dating anyone.
Sure.
Everyone's loved my family, which is good, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I've never. How many girlfriends you had, Caleb?
I think 1, 2, 3.
Let me ask you this before
4.
Where do you count elementary school?
No.
Okay. So
I can count middle school, high school, and college. So I dated 1 in college. 2 in high school.
Yeah.
And then 1 in middle school, so 4.
Okay. Yeah, for me it's 2.
Not bad.
I had two in high school. Yeah, 2 in high school.
I had 1 really bad one in high school. A decent one in high school. It was just bad timing.
Yeah.
The middle school one was kind of like, you know, it was
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then college, it was, I mean, bad for me. I don't know about her, but it was because I took it harder, of course, than she did.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, no, just
us
4.
guys can be you know a
little emotional.
Little emotional sometimes. You can. No, yeah.
I'm just an emotional guy, so that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I mean, both of my relationships in high school, the second one I will say.
Wait, relationships plural?
I had 2. Not at the same time. Not at the same time. Don't think that. But it was kind of back to back though, because I do feel bad that I will say this. The second person I went out with, I went out with because I was so upset the first one didn't work out.
Yep.
And it was as simple as though someone told me, yo, but so-and-so likes you too.
Yeah.
And it was kind of scummy. And I will say, like, I feel bad. And I was like, really?
Yeah, really? Oh,
Then and then I went out with that person a little longer. But then I did break up because my heart was like, nah, you don't really like her.
Yeah.
And I felt bad. I did feel bad. I'm like, you just did this, man, just to fill in the void.
Yeah, you know when you do it too. I almost did it.
Because I want to be able to feel that natural, just, genuine love, you know?
I almost did it in college, like after this previous
like
one.
a fill in the void type
I was
thing.
like, I was like, no, this isn't it. And told the chick, I was like, no. I was like, I am not, I'm nowhere near ready. Yeah. And I was just like, let's just, we can be friends. And she was like, okay. And so, I mean, we're still friends now. So, yeah, I mean,
you're still in school. You still got some options.
I got one more year.
Still got some options. See, for me, it's been hard because ever since I graduated high school, I just had jobs.
I know,
and I've met people in jobs. I mean, I've ran into a few possibilities, but it just never worked out. Tinder. I've been on a few Tinder dates, but didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
There's some stories there, but it's always rough. It's always I hate Tinder.
I don't like any of the matchmaking apps.
For me, it's the only option.
It's the only option.
It's the only option.
And that's
there's nothing natural about it.
And that's unfortunate for people who are like actually trying to look for something,
Yeah.
Because I feel like Tinder, Bumble, whatever you want to use nowadays, it's a very hookup culture.
I hate it.
I have been on those before, and stuff like that, but it's like I've never got anything from it, so it doesn't even matter. But because it's bad when someone you were in a relationship and then you get on like Bumble or whatever the next day. Yeah. Not trying to throw shade, but I just did. Anyways, okay. But then, it's just what it is. I'm, like I said, relationships are tough, man. They're hard. It's because you're trying to find someone that will stick with you for not for, I guess forever, until you're dead. But, just someone you can enjoy being around. I feel like it's...
to me... Okay, let me ask you...
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
What do you think a relationship should entail? Like, what do you think makes it work the best? Let me ask you that.
So in terms of
Let's give people advice, two single guys.
I think two single guys.
Two single guys giving advice.
But like... I don't know. You guys need to be on the same page. If you guys aren't on the same page, it's not going to work out.
Yes.
And I know that because... that happened to me. So,
sure.
I was kind of looking more further into the future type deal, and I guess they were kind of looking for more of a short term kind of fill in the void or whatever. So it was kind of hard.
That's tough. That's tough. That's really hard.
Mm-hmm. And so like I mean, and I do admit that there was probably some faults. I kind of did some like future-esque envisioning. I guess too far ahead. Yeah. So I mean, I guess I can take kind of blame in that.
I think that can be a damper on things too. If you look too far, I think sometimes be in the moment.
I did. Which I admit, and it's hard to do.
I mean, I probably would do the same thing.
And it's hard. It's hard not to do it because you want to think about it, what it's going to be like.
To me, honestly, this is how bad I can get, and like I'll expose myself a little bit. Sometimes when I match on someone on Tinder, I already start thinking about it. I'm like, how could this life be with this person?
How is our kids going to turn out 50% Asian?
With an Aquarius. How could this be?
Looking up the star signs and if they compare.
Oh, how my Asian kids look?
My Asian kids. Get Caleb.
Kids.
Well, ask Caleb. He's the Asian.
Well, ask Caleb.
No, the one thing that really like just pisses me off about relationships and women.
Okay.
No offense, all women.
Sure.
This isn't all of you, but just. I hate it when they would say that they want to be pursued by guys, and then the guy pursues them, and they're like, "No, thank you." That just irks me.
You know how many...
Like, I've heard so many conversations where it just goes like that, and I'm just like, "Girl," I was like, "He's in your face, and you're just not saying anything, right?" And I understand if he's like not attractive or anything, right? Like, you're not attracted to him, of course, but. The thing is about attractiveness, right? And this is from like books I've read and stuff, like sermons and stuff like this. Attraction if it doesn't come immediately, that's okay because you can build that attraction, like not in a relationship, but through a friendship. Yeah. Right. And getting to know the person. I'm not going to date someone that I just met. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I like to at least know the person. Yeah. And for like a decent amount of time, or get to know them for whatever. But So I mean, some females just confuse me sometimes. I mean, men do it too. So I mean, like,
it's a crazy thing to wrap your head around. Because I don't know. I like kind of like what you said, because you can build the attraction.
Girls don't know that. They want the attraction. Okay, no offense, girls. Sorry. They just want They just want it immediately. They want it like it's there already. Which I mean, and I understand.
Get to know me.
Yeah, get to know me.
Get to know me a little bit.
But no, I just feel like they just want it immediately. It's just something that, and guys do this too.
I'm guilty.
Yeah,
of
I'm
it.
guilty of it too. I mean, like it's hard because
I kind of like it though, because I think it's something we should all be open-minded to. I like what you're kind of preaching here. Is I guess we shouldn't all just be like, I need to be attracted right away.
Yep.
But it needs to be like, no, maybe there can be this thing. But then sometimes if you do try to build it, and you're like, oh, nah.
What do you think about like dating your best friend? What do you think about that?
Can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
I think
I'm 50-50 on it because obviously what just happened. So, but other than that.
Here's what I got to say as a guy who's only been in 2 relationships in high school. I think the person you're dating should be your best friend.
Okay, for sure. I think yes.
I think it should be.
What do you think in like before stance? Like you guys have been best friends for like years now.
Okay, I think there's something funky there.
Okay, yeah.
I think there's some more issues with that. Could it work? I think it's 50-50.
It could. Yes,
I think
that's
it's a
what I
gamble.
was saying.
It's a gamble. But
because you know so much about each other already that you feel like it's comfortable to get into that type of relationship.
Sure.
But then when you get into it, then you realize, oh shoot, something's not right.
Yeah,
right? Or something like that.
Yeah. There's some. I think that's kind of what my first relationship kind of issue was a little bit. I will say a little bit, not a lot, but I think when we decided, hey, let's try it out, and I asked her out. When it happened, I think things just felt funky. And it's weird. You don't know what it is. Yeah. There was just something funky, and I was upset, and that's why I was upset. Then as the other girl, I was I need to fill this empty feeling inside. Yeah, no. But no, I think okay, there can be some issues with being best friends then dating, but I think if you're dating, let's say you just met someone, then you started dating, I think you should. I think to an extent you should consider that person your best friend. I think there's something fun in that. Yeah. Like when you build a friendship and a relationship at the same time. Yeah. I think it's weird. Okay, I'm going to start going off here a little bit. I think it's odd when someone's in a relationship and they're not around like the person as much. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's kind of like they're strangers.
Yeah. You notice too when they start straying away from you or they don't talk to you as much, you know something's going on. And that's kind of what happened with my last relationship is that I knew something was wrong as soon as they started to like stop communicating as much or even like trying to do things with me and stuff. I knew something was going on. I mean,
did you guys have a lot in common?
Yeah, I mean, we did. It was like we told each other everything.
Do you think that's important? The matching stuff, or
it's hard to think about.
Or do the opposites thing work?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Because like you listen to a lot of relationships now and people who are married now, and they're like, yeah, I would have never seen myself like dating you.
I don't get
in
it.
high school or anything like that. Yeah. And it's weird, right? Because you're kind of like, if you don't have the same interest, then what's the point?
Right. Yeah. That's my biggest thing. I still don't get it. I guess I don't know if there's something we haven't figured out, but
probably something we haven't figured out.
No, I do think if you are dating someone, they should be like a best friend or something. You know, you should hang out with them a lot, and you should be able to bring them to family gatherings, bring them to friend gatherings, and there should be that fun camaraderie.
What about dating in friend groups? This is where my issue came in, was in the friend group.
Dating in friend groups. I'm not against it, but I can agree that it can have its flaws. Yeah. But I wouldn't, like, if let's say we're in a friend group and then me and this other person slowly develop things, I'm not gonna let the fact that we're in a friend group stop that. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I felt like,
I'm willing to dip my toe. I'm willing to dip my toe.
Because we dated,
but it can have an issue.
And then after, because I felt like I had to break up with her in order, because I knew if she broke up with me, that the people in the group chat weren't necessarily going to be happy about it. Yeah. Because everyone knew in our group that I've been chasing her for like 3 years, right?
Sure.
So everyone knew this. Yeah. And I knew they weren't going to be happy if she did it. So I was like, I kind of got to rip the Band-Aid off myself. So I broke up with her before she could. Yeah. My pride still remains intact. But it's hard because I felt like I had to leave that group because I didn't want to. It's not that I don't want to talk to her or anything. Yeah. Like, there are some moments where I do wish I could talk to her and stuff like that.
Sure.
But it's just like...
Yeah, it always hits us.
It's like... Oh, well. Like, I still talk to all the people in that group anyways, just...
I think it's part of growing up where you got to kind of have those mature moments.
Oh, for sure.
This sucks. Like, this really sucks. But I think you got to tell yourself, like, I guess it'll better you as a person. It'll better them as a person.
I give my roommate
and
props.
sometimes time heals. You know, time heals. I think eventually you'll be able to.
Oh, for sure. And
time will heal.
My roommate, he's doing a good job with it. Him and this girl used to date in our friend group as well. They broke up. They went through their little thing, but they still talk to each other, and they're still in the group chat and all that stuff. So I mean, I give him props to that he can do that. I mean, just for me, I was just too.
Right.
It's harder for me. So I mean.
Yeah.
Understand. But yeah, no, relationships, you know how they are.
They can be weird, man.
They can be weird.
So
hit me up on KS Vaughn at Instagram.
Yeah. Hit him up on there. I'll put his tag right
Caleb
there.
S Vaughn, my bad.
Are you on any dating apps right now?
I think I'm on. Which one is it?
Are you on Hinge?
No, not Hinge. What is it? Oh gosh, I think it's Upward. Yeah, Upward.
Okay, another one I might have to download.
Yeah, so that one's just more Christian, Christian-esque centered.
I just don't like it because there's nothing natural about matching with someone. Then it's like this thing the guy has to do it first. Mm-hmm. So I hate.
No, that's the thing. And girls always like, oh no, not girls. Some guy. I mean, it's iffy because some guys I wish girls would come after me, you know. And then there's girls who are like, oh no, but we can't do that because the guy always has to go pursue the girl, you know, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I mean, shoot, if I had a girl pursue me, I'd be like, dang. Yo,
what's up, girl?
Yo,
let's hang out.
It's different because I mean, obviously,
I'd be like, finally.
Yeah, and then it puts us in a bad spot because then if we're not like, I don't know, because like,
I know where you're going.
This was an issue because I had a really.
Because then if a girl does,
yes, I had a really I had a really good friend who was like into me. Yeah. And I found out through another person, and I was like, I kind of see you as like a sister-ish vibe, and that kind of hurts because I know they don't want to hear it, and also I didn't want to say it because it.
Yeah.
But
so I mean, I guess it has its
ups and it has its downs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we're two very single guy mentalities.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. And girls always get on me for this too. And they're like, we're giving you all these signs, and I'm like, what signs? There's zero.
I had an encounter like that in high school. I remember because I was in a group text with this person. And other people, and I would hang out with her and others like a couple times. Yeah. I'm willing to say I'm not that oblivious to certain things.
Oh, certain things are like blatant. You can tell.
Yeah.
Like
she wasn't giving me enough signs. I remember in this group text, I started venting. I was like, man, like I can't wait. I want to find a girlfriend.
Yeah,
like
screw women.
No. And then she says it in the chat because I think she was like fed up or something.
Was fed up, yeah.
She was like, Ethan, I literally try to flirt with you all the time. And I was like, I'm in a group text like 16 people. I separate texted her. What are you talking about?
Don't see that.
And also, I was also mad because she was kind of cute. And I'm like, you never flirt. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because I would have known. What are you talking about? I was like, what is flirting to some people? Mm-hmm. Like, hey.
And I was at that one relationship I told you where I thought of her as a sister. She says I didn't know. I knew way before she knew. I was like, it is obvious.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just like
something. Yeah. Then
sometimes it's obvious,
you can't
and then
tell.
Sometimes you don't want to talk about it because it gets awkward. Then sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and get it done.
Right. All right, everybody. Well, hey. You just finished another episode of Ethan on Plus. Congrats to you. Congrats, you did it. You made it through the episode. If you want to hop on, let me know. You know, hit me up. Hey, Ethan, I want to come on a podcast and talk about fun things like you did with Caleb today. Yeah, anyone can come on. You know, the studio's right here. We'll talk about anything. You can find me on Han_Aguilar on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. Ethan Aguilar, that's my name. You can find me on Snapchat, Swagular25. You can find all these podcast episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor.fm, and there's another one. You know what? I'm going blank. Go for those. And YouTube, of course, on the video version will be on there as well. You can listen, see our beautiful faces on there, and for all the women listening, if you guys want to,
that's right.
hit us up. Go for it. Hit us up first, because we're just two single guys looking for love.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much where you can find this podcast. Remember to subscribe, like my channel, subscribe to the channel. Show me some support. Hit the support button for the podcast. That's where the money comes in, the moolah, and it'll all go into the studio here, so I can bring the best show possible to all of you. And everybody, again, my guest here is Kaleb Vaughn. And Caleb, anything you want to promote? Any last remarks?
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Of course, it was a joy and a pleasure.
Great time. This won't be your last time either.
Won't be the last. I'll be back.
I'm planning to bring movie segments back.
let's do it. Yeah, I'm down.
So when movie segments come on, I'm planning to call it Ethan Hahn plus movie news. So yeah, I'm gonna maybe
we could do some like. Okay, I'm gonna do some like reviews type stuff.
100%.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it. All right. Anyways,
and I have a movie buddy, so you can always hop on for those too.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thanks for having me. It was a joy. It was a pleasure. Hit me up on Kaleb S. Vaughn on Instagram for dating. But no, just to connect. If you're looking to go to Liberty, hit me up. I'll talk to you there.
All right, everybody. Again, thanks for watching. This has been Ethan Hahn plus
Kaleb Vaughn.